Would you like to see exactly how we managed to boost the development value of a residential conversion scheme by 50%? In this video, I will walk you through how we added 15 new units in a two-story airspace proposal, all approved under permitted development. This is in theory. It is a real project with real numbers and real uplift in value. Hello, I'm Rohacs from Rohacs Architects. For over 8 years, we have been helping our clients to maximize residential development value in and around London, often by interrogating schemes that already have planning approvals. This project is a perfect example of how much value can be hidden in plain sight. This is 60 East Street in Epsom, Surrey. It is an old 4-story office block on the main road connecting Epsom with central London. Our client acquired the site with a planning approval to convert the existing floors into 30 apartments. On paper, the scheme worked. But the question we always ask is, can it work better? There's one mistake I see far too often with office to residential conversions. Once works start on converting the office building, the building loses its airspace permitted development rights. So we asked our client to share their plans with us in a bit more detail so we can advise if it was feasible to submit an application for an airspace scheme. So they said they still had legal and financial issues to work through, and their plan was to start on site in about 3 months' time. The first month will be to site preparations, stripping, etc., which effectively gave us a full month window. So our proposal was to develop and submit an upward extension proposal within a month, allowing 2 months plus an extra month for validation, determination and decision. We could deliver an approval before they actually start works on site. We started mid-September, submitted and got the application validated in the beginning of November, and the approval was issued in the beginning of January. There were 2 parts to success in attention to detail and presentation. Efficient and flawless layouts that passed the strictest national space standards compliance scrutiny, and production of a circa 400 by 400 meter 3D context model with detailed townscape impact analysis. Today, successful airspace applications usually involve meticulously checked layouts against national space standards, clear compliance schedules to help case officers review units quickly. We learned this the hard way. Most of our planning submissions have been meticulously checked because we were always pushing for the maximum envelope for our clients. Sometimes we made mistakes and learned from them. Sometimes officers interpreted the standards differently and we learned from that as well. And sometimes there were very different views on how, for example, gross internal areas should be measured, and yes, we learned from that as well. The key issues are that we make sure and double check that we demonstrate compliance in GIA compliance, which is measured not as the RICS guidance, but as it is expected by the planners, dealing with reduced head height in a clear and concise way, bedroom minimum areas and minimum widths, discounting any dog legs and narrow areas, measured in a clean rectangular area that meets both the width and area requirements, built-in storage space requirements, and so on. The days of submitting a few floor plans and elevations and receiving an approval in 8 weeks are long gone. Since 2022 and the famous Cap Housing High Court judgment that changed things, local authorities can now consider a much wider impact on the amenity of adjoining premises by the proposed development. Not just privacy, overlooking and loss of light, but also outlook, noise, activity, and the external appearance of the proposal and its wider context. In other words, airspace schemes are no longer assessed in isolation. Context matters. So to go ahead this and ensure success, we built a large 400 by 400 meter model and provided over 20 long and short distance views of the existing and proposed conditions. Not because planners enjoy paperwork and we enjoy producing pretty images, but because decision makers need to understand clearly how the additional height is actually going to sit in its environment and the potential impact. The result is value, not just drawings. It's a planning approval, it's improved, and a far stronger product. Asking the right questions right in the beginning, fast and efficient work, knowing exactly what increases the chances of approval made it possible to achieve circa 4.5 million gross development additional value. Not by value engineering, not by lengthy planning and redevelopment, not by thinking properly about process, layouts, compliance, and structure very early in the process. So if you think your airspace approval will be straightforward, and anyone with a $90 CAD package can provide you the necessary drawings, think again. Are you willing to leave hundreds or maybe even millions in lost value on the design table? Producing planning drawings doesn't mean optimization, and optimization doesn't come from squeezing double beds into a single bedroom. It comes from understanding the context, the planning rules, what works, and how design decisions translate directly into value. If you're sitting on an approved residential scheme or thinking about buying one and wondering yourself whether it could work better, speak to us at Rohacs Architects. We help developers unlock hidden value by finding ways to optimize, identifying and resolving issues before they become expensive to fix. I hope you found this video interesting. Although we made all reasonable efforts to ensure that the information in this video is accurate at the time of release, it's only intended for educational purposes, so please do not treat this as a professional advice and make sure you consult a professional about your own project. Many thanks for watching, and I look forward to sharing more with you in the next episodes.